Well, here I am, out here on the Spiritual Ranch. My name's Shesh no way, and I'm the off-grid oracle. And so, yeah, the deer might eat everything out in my garden, but I keep yakking about this fence, and so I keep talking about manifestation, and I speak of manifestation because I consider that, term to be used for times when we allow God to give us the things that we need the way that they go about doing that with their natural abundance instead of first relying on money, And so that's what I talk a lot about on this channel, And so I got me 3 big pots full of fruit, as you can see here in front of me. This is they're all feral fruits. They've gone feral out here. The apples here are a pink heirloom variety. You can see they're a pink fleshed variety. They make the most absolutely gorgeous applesauce that you've ever seen in your life. And it's the tastiest too. They're sweet and tart, Very early apple. I think it's probably Gravenstein with like crab apple, but it was bred by a guy whose last name was Edders. There's a place out here in Humboldt County that's a little bit south of here and closer to the coast called Eddersville out in the Kings Mountain Range. And Edders was a breeder for the government co-ops, and so he has several named varieties and has some excellent apples. But he had extension apple orchards that were spread out across the Humboldt County where he did different research orchards, And I believe that the orchard we have out here, there's an old overgrown orchard that I go get my fruit from that's down in Bridgeville. And I believe it's an old Edders orchard because he's noted for breeding the red-fleshed apple. He has a red-fleshed apple named after him, actually. And so that's what those apples are. And now they've gone feral, So basically it's just overgrown, abandoned, old, overgrown orchard. Nobody does anything with. The bears, the deer just ravage it, And so I'm going to start taking cuttings and stuff off those old varieties that are down there and establish my own up here at the Spiritual Ranch. That's my goal, These here, this is the plums, and this is a native plum species that actually grows out at the base of Mount Shasta up into southern Oregon, and it's really common over there. You see it quite a bit up the I-5 corridor and stuff, and it's absolutely delicious. It's yellow and red, and then there's like a blush variety. It's an awesome variety. It starts to put on fruit as early as like the second week of July, and then it'll bear fruit all the way up to like the first part of September. It has a real broad range, and so it's an excellent fruit source, and bears heavily, and then and so it's like a native species, like I said, in Northern California, but it doesn't grow here. I don't know any other place in Humboldt County where it grows like it does here. And so I believe it was brought in here by the Chinese because the Chinese built this road, and they also did a lot of mining and stuff over on the by Mount Shasta and stuff. So I think they probably brought it in here, is what I believe, because there's some great big gardens also where that orchard is. It has a lot of flowers and stuff, and I believe it's an old Chinese like Tao garden, and so, but that's kind of just my own beliefs. But that's the wild plum, and then this is the Himalayan blackberry, which if you're in the Pacific Northwest, you're very familiar with the Himalayan blackberry. It grows everywhere. It was brought in here to the Pacific Northwest by the British in the late 1800s, and it's originally from the Himalayan mountains over in Asia. So, and it's an very abundant blackberry. It's a beautiful, big, beautiful blackberry. And so I spent the afternoon yesterday evening. I went down, uploaded some videos down there at the community center, and I picked some fruit. I spent the time while I was waiting there picking this fruit. And I got me 4 big pots. This is going to make several crisps. I could probably get 25 crisps out of each of these pots. And so that's probably like 75 crisps right there total. And so down there at the farm stand, the crisps sell for $10 a piece, and so that's my wire right there. That'll pay for my fence, That's manifestation. These are those little plums. These are those wild plums. They're very beautiful. There's like little gems, I just absolutely love them. But I can't wait to go ahead and get, once I get the my fence put in out here, then I'm going to be able to start working with these fruits that are out here that we have already established. because I mean they've gone feral, you know, and so they got feral and they still do really good, even getting just ravaged by everything out here, the bears and the deers and everything, you know. And so when I get them in a fence and I start manuring them, give them some manure and stuff, they're gonna probably just be amazing, you know, because like the mountain blackcap, which is what I didn't get no mountain blackcaps on this go around because kind of deer got them, you know. They were thick this year. They were absolutely nice, gorgeous. But you're up against deer and the bears, you know, raccoons, everybody's trying to get that stuff out here, you know. And so they got mine out of a little patch here I was trying to kind of hold on to by the house here. They came in and got them, you know. Could have been a raccoon too, I don't know. The deer on my shit list, you know. And so, but yeah, because that's my plan. I want to get the fence in, and I want to start moving those feral fruits because I have some, and I had some right here. You can see that pot right there. Now it's just a branch because deer ate all damn leaves off it. I had growing really nice. That was another feral tree, apple tree I got up in the mountains, a little further out in the mountains, you know. And this one here still's got its leaves on it, you can see. And so my plan is to go, like instead of going and buying a bunch of fruit trees or whatever, investing in trees that I don't know that are a gamble, I'm going to go here this fall as soon as I get that fence built, you know, I'm going to start digging up those plum trees because they got little saplings, little root shoots or whatever, you know. They're all over in that orchard where I'm talking about, you know. And so I can go down there, dig up a couple 2-3-year-old trees. I can dig up a couple hundred of them if I want to, you know, and I'll just bring them up here. I'm going to transplant them up here and then feed them and water them and nurture them and then fence them. And then I'll have my own little orchard of hardy fruit that I know bears fruit, you know, because it's from here. That's manifestation, right? Again, I don't got to invest in buying a bunch of fruit trees. Those are expensive. I can go get the ones that God has right here and make my orchard with stuff that I know will work. It's guaranteed. So it's like, yeah, I can't pick out what I want. I can't go, I want this kind of that and I want this kind of that. I'm going to get what I get. But that's what manifestation is all about. In order to be really good at manifestation, you become really good at accepting that you get what you get when you manifest, you know? And so if I want fruit trees, then I can manifest fruit trees by not having to go into town or like buy them, and not to mention take that risk of buying some kind of diseased fruit tree or whatever, you know, and then you just got diseases on your ground and everything, you know. I know these ones are strong out here, and so they'll do it. They'll do what I need. I just go get them, and that's a beautiful thing. And like in those gardens down there too, I'm gonna get all kinds of cool stuff because there's like these climbing roses that are just absolutely gorgeous, you know. And so all these trees I got out here, these pine trees, because I left these pine trees here for a little shade or whatever, you know. But I got them little, and I'm at the base of them, I'm gonna put each one of them a climbing rose. Those climbing roses, they'll climb 25, 30 feet up into the canopy of that tree, and then they're just gorgeous, you know. And so that'll be really fun, you know. And I keep pining on everything because, yeah, I'm getting taxed pretty hard, but man, I still got something here, you know. I ain't gonna look like no hot shot out there this year, but I'm gonna hang in there with them crisps, you know. And I'm just gonna keep going with God. I'm not gonna give up, you know. It's like, it's not about getting rich, man. It's about getting seen, I guess, this year, you know. Everybody's gonna know I'm there, and then next year we'll thrive, you know. But this corn I planted here, it's still going for it. And I get some corn there. They came in trying to eat my beans here. It's like, I hate them deer, man. But by the end of next week here, I believe I'll have a fence. You know, I should be damn close. You know, I should have at least half this thing fenced. I got the fence posts all laid out already, and so that's the update. That's the sitting down smoking a joint, man. But you know, we're talking about manifestation, you know, and so that's the way you manifest, folks, is like, you know, we got to start taking a little bit more third world here in the old US of A, because the way they're going with this thing, you know, they're trying to make us go broke. The rich people want to have it all for themselves, you know, and that's the way they got it all sorted out in those other countries, and that's how they're going to try to sort it out here. And so this is how you live in a third world country, you know. And so it's just what it is, man. And it's how we do our best by the world too, you know. It's like just me digging up the fruit trees and trying to and transferring them up here, trying to just work with what I got out here. That also eliminates all the use of pesticides and herbicides and plastics and like the irrigation and all that stuff that comes along with buying the nursery stock. I mean, nursery stock's really destructive stuff, you know. And so that's how we make the change in the world that we want to see, you know. That's how we do God's work, and that's what we're trying to do out here. And that's what is really under attack. I mean, it's just really under attack. They're attacking this shit. Like they attacking the Amish openly for doing this stuff. But like I was listening to some other stuff too, you know, and they're trying to really make it so that we can't provide for ourselves in this manner. And without having a middleman. They want to be that middleman between us and God, and so that they could stop our manifestations from happening, and we're not going to give them that ability to do so. And so anyhow, that's my evening chat. I just wanted to check in, and this whole fence thing, spiritual warfare, man. And so we're at war, and so the only way I could fight that war is just is put my face out there, right, and just say, hey, whatever, like they say, Jesus says, if they strike you on the one cheek, then you should turn the other cheek to them and let them strike that one as well, and might as well do it with a smile on your face, and so here I am, smiling, and we got this one. So I'm gonna bust out a bunch of crisps. I'm gonna go up there and do that stand tomorrow. And I'm thinking by Monday, I should have everything I need to build a fence. I should have my wire all together. And look where it came from. It came from God Most High. It came from them fruit trees down there that just sitting in the wild that nobody gives a fuck all about. Sitting there in God's garden trying to offer up its abundance, to some lucky fool that stumbles along and sees it for the abundance and for what it's worth, So anyhow, I love y'all. You're my prayers, and I want to see everybody be blessed. I want to see abundance for everybody, man. I want to see everybody in this world win. I want smiles on faces. And that's just what it is. I'm tired of the bad news. And so, we made it through today. We'll make it through tomorrow. And so, God bless you all.